Otter radio show.
Oh my God, I love you so much!
On 97.7 FM, The City.
Greetings, blessings, and good fortune, everyone. It's another Thursday here at KCYP, The City, McAllen, Texas. Coming at you from the McAllen Creative Incubator. We're also going out on Facebook, YouTube, TuneIn Radio, and Radio Garden. Those last two are apps. Check them out. They're really cool. A lot of stuff to talk about today, everybody. We got a lot of stuff. Got a bunch of notes here. And of course, as you all know, I will be checking out the comment section. So you have anything you want to say, you have something you really want to discuss, please bring it on. We need to talk about these things that you want to talk about. Okay. It can't just be me. We want to talk about what you want to talk about. Let's see who we have already. Looks like Matt. Matt's already on. Good. Oh, I think we can see this here in the photo. It's a Donald Trump sticker. A friend of mine put on my Stanley Cup. It says, "I'm not orange, impeach. I'm peach." Get it? Yeah. He wasn't happy because I actually wear it as a badge of honor. You see, if Donald Trump is impeached by communists, well, I mean, that's a good thing. If I was impeached by communists, I'd want to, sport that badge around. Anyway, let's get on with the show, shall we? So, gold today, pre-show about, an hour ago, was at $2,171 for 1 ounce of that. Silver, $24.55 silver. Bitcoin, ladies and gents, I'm loving this. We are getting into a time when everybody has seen what's going on with Bitcoin, and many of us want a piece of it. And you can do too. I'll show you. No problem. 67,291 Federal Reserve notes for 1 Bitcoin. And your average mortgage rate, if you're, hard pressed to buy a home right now, I hope you're not. But if you are, that means that you're going to be paying for a 30-year rate 7.15, 15-year rate 6.61%. Yes, that is the definition of usury. Let's see. We got Matt saying we need to talk about the Facebook debacle 2 days ago. Oh, we will. Thank you. Remind me again if I don't get into that right away. Going to talk crypto real quick. And then Jim O'Rourke, good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. So, by the way, we got drums blasting out behind us here at the Creative Incubator. So if you hear any, what have you, a little bit of rabble rousing, if you will, pay no mind. We'll speak over that. So this is from cryptonews.com. I'm going to go a little heavy on the crypto news today because, well, Bitcoin is pumping. Best crypto to buy today, March 7. So a lot of times I entertain comments that go along the lines of, "Hey, Otter, you don't talk a ton about crypto, and when you do, it's all Bitcoin." Well, there's a couple reasons for that. One, people don't want to listen to crypto the whole time because most people haven't had mass adoption or the mania, the frenzy, like I have been bitten by the Bitcoin monster. Not everybody has been bitten by that monster, but more and more people are getting that. So that's why I'm going to get a little crypto heavy today. And this one from cryptonews.com says, best cryptos to buy today, March 7. And remember, I don't have a tie. I'm not a financial advisor in any way, shape, or form. So these are not picks for you. These are things for you to look into, and you choose. Do you want to get into it? Do you not? That's on you. You are the decision maker here. So, Thorchain EOS. I don't know exactly what this is about. I'm just letting you guys know that this is on cryptonews.com. Jupiter, JP is that you're going to put JUP in the search thing on Coin Market Cap. Okay, CMC. I know I'm running fast. CMC is where all the cryptos are listed. And their market cap, number one, of course, being Bitcoin, and then everything that follows. So JUP is the call sign, if you will, for Jupiter. And this is the write-up here on cryptonews.com. As Solana meme coins succumb to profit-taking, the native token of Solana's largest decentralized exchange, Jupiter, is pumping. Jupiter was last up more than 34% in 24 hours. Okay, so that one's running at 34%. Now you might say to yourself, "Well, that's already gone. It's over the hill. The window has shut, if you will." However, in crypto, 34% is considered tame. So, and both ways, because it could go down that way too. Matt says XRP being suppressed. Wait until it unleashes with a vengeance. I hope it does. I really do. Jaime Sanchez, glad to see you, my friend. So the other one is called Thorchain Rune. Okay. RUNE is its call sign. Another decentralized exchange token that is pumping on Thursday is cross-chain exchange Thorchain. Again, Rune. If you want to look it up, RUNE in the little circle on CoinMarketCap. As per CoinMarketCap, Thorchain has rallied 26% in the past 24 hours, ranking it as potentially among the best crypto to buy today. Yes, ladies and gents, in the crypto world, today is not tomorrow nor yesterday. Sometimes you jump on it today. If you're into the trading thing, I don't do it that way. I buy and hold. But that's me. And then EOS, which is also the call sign, EOS. Layer 1 blockchain token has pumped up 17% in the past 24 hours on hopes of a token burn. That has things to do with the economics of the blockchain in that particular crypto, which again is EOS. Crypto alternatives to consider. Again, this is from crypto.com. All of the above coins, those were the last, potential investors give potential investors a chance to make 10x gains. So you 10x 10 times your money. Potentially, okay? Remember that. Potentially, everybody. But for those looking for a better probability of near-term gains, an alternative high-risk, high-reward investments, remember high-risk, high-reward investment strategy to consider is getting involved in crypto pre-sales. So these, and I guess I'm interjecting here in the article itself, these are projects led by teams that have not yet launched. Okay? These tokens are nearly always sold cheaply, and there is a long history of delivering huge exponential gains to early investors. So you can throw $100 at it, whatever, and you get thousands and thousands of these tokens. So if it hits, there you go, right? This is basically taking you back to the early days of Bitcoin, where less than 1 cent was Bitcoin. Oh, for those days, right? Many of these projects have fantastic teams behind them and a great vision to deliver a unique crypto application or platform. If an investor can identify such projects, the risk reward of their pre-sale investment is very good. The team at Crypto News spends a lot of time combing through pre-sale projects to help investors out. Here's a list of 15 of projects that CryptoNews.com deems the best crypto pre-sales in 2023. So I'm going to run through the 5. We're not going to, bore you with the whole 15. Again, CryptoNews.com will have the entire 15 coin or project list. The first one is for them, Green Bitcoin. Bitcoin price prediction cryptocurrency game, over 1.1 million raised for that project. Number 2 is Scotty the AI. Okay, that one is Scotty. The call sign for it, Smog, SMOG, popular new meme coin offering exciting airdrops and 42% APY. So if you were to stake that, you'd get 42% more on your coins. Sponge V2 is a stake to bridge coin released new token version. Okay. In 2023, it witnessed a 100x, meaning if you would have put $100 on it, you would have got 1,000, right? Wait, 10,000. Wow. So that's the kind of thing you can do in cryptos, but you can lose too, guys. That's why you only throw a little bit on there, right? So eTuck is an eco-friendly meme crypto building EVs. If you can make money with EVs, you'd be one of the very few people doing it. Marcos, good to see you. Robert Silva and Berenice. Jeannie, you're on. Good to see you. Kathy is on. And the Bud man. Good to see you, Bud. thanks for showing up, everybody. Again, I'm going a little bit heavy on the crypto news today, which I think some of you are going to appreciate because, hey, a lot of people want to get into this now, myself included. I might even put a little bit up there and do these meme coins and these projects that get in there at 0.00003 cents, okay, for a coin. I mean, you could buy a lot of coins for $50, $100, and if they hit, blammo, could be world-changing money right there for, the individual. Bitcoin.com says Fed Chair Powell eases central bank digital currency concerns. U.S. far from direct Fed accounts, he says, emphasizes need for congressional approval. So this is a Fed chair, the Federal Reserve, a privately owned, I'm going to call it what it is, a criminal organization that runs the banking system here in the Western Hemisphere and some of the Eastern Hemisphere. So they have a chair, a puppet, if you will, titro, no? So his name's Powell, this iteration. His name's Powell. So he is saying that don't worry about CBDCs, everybody. Central bank digital currency, don't worry about that. Nah, don't worry about it at all because we're far from these accounts. Well, when a chair says things, you got to take it with a grain of salt and sometimes just believe the exact opposite and you're better off. Anyway, in his conversation with the Senate Banking Committee, Fed Chair Jerome Powell explored the notion of a central bank digital currency. He clarified that venturing into the realm of CBDC does not suggest its rapid deployment. Powell highlighted that this exploration would involve the traditional banking system. Oh, a little vomit comes up when I say that kind of stuff. The traditional banking system is what has bankrupted this nation and many nations around the world. So anyway, that's what he says he wants more of because they pay him to say that. The Federal Reserve has no intention of creating individual every American. Powell informed the committee. He stated clearly that such privileges are exclusive to private banks. Okay? A practice the Fed intends to maintain. Of course they do. They can't have you and me having our own banks. That's what Bitcoin's for. Right? Right? Yes, it is. Powell then calmed concerns of the congressional leaders, indicating there was no immediate plan for a CBDC on the horizon. Yeah, that's why they have an app for it already. Thanks, Jerome. He assured them that such an eventuality is not forthcoming anytime soon. He stressed, people don't need to worry about it. That's what they were saying in 2008, before the bottom fell through. Don't worry about it. Okay, we're going to go into some other... Well, wait a minute. I was going to interject with something really interesting and new, but I'm also going to tell you about one more thing in the cryptoverse. Donald Trump's crypto portfolio soars 7.5 million, fueled by Trump coin and its ascension and Ethereum gains. Wow. So they can't keep a good man down. And this guy I'm talking about is Donald Trump. They can do whatever they want to do, but he's going to make money. That's just the way it works. That's capitalism. You and I can make money too. We just have to be smart about it. 10 days ago, the worth of Trump's Trump tokens, MAGA, and its call sign is Trump, stood at 2.98 million and presently has ascended to 4.66 million. This indicates a more than 56% increase in the value of Trump's MAGA coins over the span of 10 days. Nice. So, this is something that we definitely want to talk about. This is going to be first up, and then I got something really important also second up involving the Israeli and Gaza-Palestine issue. However, one here broke this week, and oh, did it break. SCOTUS, Supreme Court of the United States, ruled 9-0 against election interference. They didn't title it that, of course. No, they didn't. What they did was they said you cannot take a presidential candidate off of a ballot. And certainly the 14th Amendment or the claimed breaking of the 14th Amendment doesn't wash. No vale. Doesn't work at all. So a 9-0 ruling against the communists that wanted to take Donald Trump off of the ballot. You got Colorado, you got, I think, one of the I's, Iowa, Idaho, I can't remember. I think there were in total like 6 more states that wanted to take him off of the ballot. And why did they want to do that, ladies and gentlemen? Why would you want to do that? Well, I'll tell you why you want to do that. Because you know your guy isn't going to win. You're not going to win with the Grandpa Mushmouth is not going to do it, okay? Now, we know there's going to be a change of pattern. We always knew there was going to be a change of pattern, right? So, anyway, the SCOTUS, Supreme Court of the U.S., they said, you know what? 9 of them to 0, so it was unanimous. No way you can take a presidential candidate off the ballot. You're not going to do it. It just doesn't happen, okay? So, what does this mean? Means a lot of things. But it also means that one of the strategies of the communists is now gone. The lawfare strategy. What do I mean? Well, with the lawfare strategy, they had a few things going with it. One, they wanted to get a conviction so that they could tell the world, hey, we convicted this Donald Trump guy. He's evil. He's this, he's that. He memes and he tweets meanly. He just hurts feelings all over the world. We have to interfere in the election so that he doesn't make it into the White House again. So the lawfare strategy, it wasn't being effective with people who think, but I'm sure it was being very effective with TV watchers. So TV watchers were probably falling hook, line, and sinker for this whole Trump is a criminal, Trump is this. Now remember, there is no cleaner government employee than Donald Trump. Why do I say that? He's been under investigation multiple times, special investigations multiple times, background investigations multiple times. If there was dirt there, believe me, they would have gotten him on whatever it was if it was real. They can't get him because what they do is lie about the things that they claim he's done criminally, which, they do this because they are the criminals, okay? Republicans and Democrats are the criminals. It's not Donald Trump. Anyway, we have a situation here where lawfare strategy has failed. So the justices went further in this case. And I want to tell you this, and this is something if you're paying attention, you're going to see this. But the justices literally went further than that. And, if I'm going to be really sensitive with this and call it a liberal clan of justices. There's like 3 of them on the Supreme Court. So this liberal clan said that the conservative clan went too far because they added things to the ruling, to the opinion. And this is basically what they said, okay? They ruled that even convictions won't work to take someone off of the ballot. Wow, you have to have a meltdown, okay, right now. In the world of the mainstream media, a meltdown in the communist universities, the institutions of higher learning. There's only one way they get higher, but we won't talk about that. Whatever they call institutionalization nowadays, it's really horrible. It warps minds, but they have to be imploding. Their mental state has to be one of panic right now, and also panic in DC, because their plans are going down in flames one by one. This lawfare one, poof, gone, baby. Oh, does that mean they're going to stop? Does that mean they're going to quit? Hell no. No, of course not. We still have much in the way. John Laff goes on. Thank you, John, for tuning in. I'm talking here about the 9-0 unanimous decision by the Supreme Court to say, you know what? You can't interfere in elections by taking a guy off of a ballot. You just can't do it. Never been done before, my limited knowledge. You can't do it now. As much as you want to commie, you commies can't commie in this way. You've got to find a different way. That's what's going to, I'm paraphrasing slightly. Now, here are some other communist strategies to interfere with the 2024 election that you may or may not be aware of. Number 1 is voter fraud. Do you think they're going to cheat? I think there was a Rasmussen poll. I think 60s. We're in the 60% of people Republicans, Democrats, whatever, all over the place, they believe that there's going to be some voter fraud, again, in this current upcoming election. A pandemic. You never know. They've now said that they want Virus X to go rampant on you and your children. They would love that. I mean, that's a great strategy. It worked like a charm last time. They called this flu COVID. They came out with a bioweapon for the alleviation of it, get everybody jabbed. And wow, what do you got? Mail-in voting. It is rife with fraud. In fact, you can see videos of Democrats saying this very thing probably 5 years before the 2020 election, how wrought with fraud was the mail-in voting system. It's out there, all the named Democrats, right? So everybody knows that is part of their plan. Another plan is a cyber attack. Wow, man. This already happened. AT&T was taken down. Facebook, Matt, we're hitting on it. JT, good to see you. We're hitting on this right now, Matt. The Facebook login thing, I think it happened like 2 days ago. We'll log into their Facebook page for whatever reason. I did notice a change when I came back, when I did get back into Facebook. One of those changes were that I would screenshot something instead of actually sending it through Messenger the way Facebook wants to shunt us. I would screenshot it, crop it, and then send it to a friend on WhatsApp or just directly through messaging. And when I sent it on WhatsApp, it became a sticker. So it was no longer a photo. It became a sticker. Does that have anything to do with anything? I don't know. But just mentioning that because it came to the top of my head. So these are strategies. So we had the lawfare strategy that got shot down by the Supreme Court, 9-0. That's the strategy to interfere with the 2024 election, right? Another communist strategy to interfere with the 2024 election is voter fraud. We talked about that. A pandemic. Yes, it's now they're calling it X. So yeah, how original, right? How original of them to come up with that name for a pandemic, because they are planning it. A cyber attack. We're seeing how would you say minor tremors in the cyber space place. And then the last one, if they can't do it, if they really just can't succeed and bring this sham of a Biden over the finish line, then they're going to bring us to war. They always bring us to war in the end, but they might just push it along and rush it in this case. And I don't mean Russians. I mean deep state here in the United States and elsewhere. So we're going to see wars and rumors of war. Okay, why? Because these people love war. That is who they are. Republicans and Democrats love war. Why? They get paid. They don't mind that other people's children die. Ted Garza, how you doing, Teddy? Jim says, open what you want to share, top right corner, 3 dots, click, then share external. Okay, thank you. So that, I guess, is the answer to my earlier comment on what I would do with the cropping of a screenshot. So yeah, hit the three dots. See, there's other ways to skin a cat. And Jim's showing us how to do that on Facebook. Thank you, Jim. So here's one. And then I'm going to get to the one that I really do want to talk about because I spent some considerable time on it yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, you no longer have to cross the border if you're an illegal alien. Yes, we don't want you to, pull a hammy coming across, running, or, maybe get a cramp while you're swimming across the river. So the Biden administration has been so kind as to, throughout 2023, fly 320,000 illegal aliens into the United States without having to cross the border. Yeah. Why make them inconvenience themselves waiting in line at the border, or heaven forbid that they actually present themselves as a port of entry, the United States of America, respecting our borders. Why would we want them to do that? Let's just fly them right in, Joe. Fly them in, man. 320,000 of them flown in. Yes, I'm not lying. This was even in the rag of, I believe it was CNN. I believe it was AP, Reuters probably has it. If you want to look in the mainstream news cesspool for this information, you can find it. Okay, it's there. I'm not making this stuff up. And 320,000 illegals from January to December of 2023. Didn't even have to cross the border. No trouble. No trouble. Here's your debit card. Here's your cell phone. Here's your plane ticket. Just walk out your front door. We probably got an Uber for you, on the American taxpayer. Yeah, isn't that great? Aren't you pumped for this Javi, good to see you. Marco says, any predictions on tonight's State of the Union speech? I heard a good assessment of the State of the Union speech prior to this one, and it's basically going to be a state of confusion speech. That might be true, but again, that might not be true. And here's why I say it, Marcos. He takes his meds heavily just before these broadcasts. So he could be semi-lucid. There might be, he might even string 4 or 5 words together without stumbling, mumbling, or bumbling. And I'm sure they've probably cleared all those sandbags out. Whatever it was that he trips over, they probably cleared that out for him too. They might even wheel him in on one of those the Hannibal Lecter things, and they'll probably bring him as close as they can outside of the camera, and then just unstrap him and just hope for the best as he kind of shuffles along to the microphone, with Jill, of course, holding his hand. So what I believe he's going to focus on is attacking truth. I think he's going to have to attack Donald Trump. He's going to call him many names, and he's going to call you names, Marcos. He's going to call you names because you're an extreme MAGA guy person, okay? And he doesn't like you because you love America. And what are you doing loving America? What's wrong with you loving America? Don't the colleges teach us how to hate America? Are you uneducated? Are you ignorant that you love America? What's wrong with you, Marcos? Please, let's talk logic here in the Biden sense. You can't have MAGA extremists out there with flags in front of their houses. What, are you kidding me? You want a gun to defend yourself? You be a victim like everybody else, damn it. What are you talking about, man? Loving America. That's the kind of thing he's going to say, in my humble opinion. So, I want to talk about this, ladies and gents. And this came to me via my cousin Tara's Facebook page. Okay? It's an amazing revelation to me because it comes from a person who is diametrically opposed to me politically. She's probably around my age, looking at her bio and stuff. Her name is Brene Brown. Okay. So she has a podcast called Unlocking Us. Now, I normally get hives when I listen to someone who has been institutionalized for the amount of time that she was. I mean, she's got probably degrees out the wazoo, if that's a body part. And she also has 5 or 6 New York Times bestsellers. You don't get that type of approval writing about, patriotism. You get it by usually writing about the patriarchy, if you know what I mean. So those kind of things, that kind of approval, that kind of support doesn't usually come from, in my opinion, this is just me, come from someone who is as right as Ms. Brene Brown is in this case. Yes, I said it. Ms. Brene Brown does us a great service in these 3 episodes, and I'm going to assume the third one is as good as the first 2. Okay? 3 podcasts, and it is on I'm going to summarize, of course. It is basically this group called Parent Council Family Forum. Ladies and gents, this group is amazing. This group, and let me just lay it down. What does this group consist of? It is a group of Israelis and Palestinians that have had someone in their family killed in the conflict. Okay? So there was a woman that I listened to, and this was in the first one. So her name is Robbie Damelin. And I could be murdering these pronunciations, right? Robbie Damelin is an older lady. I'm sorry if she ever hears me say that. But the man on the other side, the Palestinian, is Ali Abu Awad. Okay, so he had his brother killed by an Israeli, and Robbie Damelin had her son killed by a Palestinian sniper. So let me read this first. Let me read this. Maybe stories, this is from Brene Brown. Maybe stories are data with soul. The official line: I'm a research professor at the University of Houston, where I hold the Huffington. Yeah. That name really means a lot. Anyway, Huffington Foundation Endowed Chair. Wow. Anyway, I am also a visiting professor in management at the University of Texas at Austin. Again, this is where I'm going. But I digress. And the Macomb School of Business. I've spent the past 2 decades studying courage, vulnerability, and shame, and empathy. I'm an author of 6 #1 New York Times bestsellers, and I'm the host of the original podcast, Unlocking Us and Dare to Lead. Again, this is Brene Brown. The bottom line, I believe that you have to walk through vulnerability to get to courage. Therefore, embrace the suck. I try to be grateful every day, and my motto right now is courage over comfort. Okay? So, the first podcast had Ali Abu Awad and Robbie Damelin on nonviolence as the path to freedom for Palestinians and Israelis. Ladies and gents, this podcast was so awesome. Okay, so now this is going to be on Brene Brown's. I believe it's a website, BreneBrown.com. BRENE Brown.com. All one word. So you can see these 3 podcasts on Unlocking Us is her series name for these podcasts, right? I can tell you that you will be much better informed, and you will actually have, I believe, Monica, good to see you. Matt says MAGA coin is at 732 and up 201% in the last 30 days. Chihuahuas. Wow. So back to these podcasts that you will be edified listening to. I have been blasted by both sides because I am not a terrorist. I do not support Hamas. I am not a Zionist. I do not support the government of Israel, especially that scoundrel Netanyahu, who so-called leads it. He's just another guy. He's a Biden. He's a Bush. He's a criminal like all of those others, right? So the point is, the people are coming from, that overused term, grassroots. People are coming together. These people have been hurt by what they have been taught is the enemy. They have their loved ones killed. Their lives are completely different now. They are nowhere near what they were prior to their family member being killed. It is amazing to listen to these people, ladies and gentlemen. I can tell you it is amazing. The second one, her name is Rula Daoud and Ellen Lee Green. Okay, they're with this organization Standing Together. So these are younger people than the first 2, Ali Abu Awad and Robbie Damelin. Okay, these are younger, but they also have their struggle, and they're coming together as people, both Israeli and Palestinian people, and they are basically fighting the governments. Ladies and gentlemen, we as citizens of individual countries, not the global citizen, I refuse to embrace that. We do not want a one world government. We are citizens of individual nations, but we must come together in accordance. We must bring governments to heal. Do I mean bloodshed? I do not. In fact, this is all about nonviolence. That's why I love it. They're winning with nonviolence. How do they do that? They come together and they tell their stories. You will be amazed at the stories you will see and hear. Well, you hear them, you see them if you get into it. And I am definitely supporting this. I don't want to misstate it. Parent Council Family Forum. I've already thrown them a little bit because I believe this is how we, as patriots, each one of us in our respective nation, come together and we say to the governments, we don't want your war. We're not going to die for you anymore. We're not going to be killed by you anymore. We are more than you. So when I saw this, I thought, well, this woman's credentials are all about approval. These are how people, intellectuals, so-called, gain their approval by going along with the system. Well, you know what? Kudos to Brene Brown. She went against the system. She's not just trying to be approved by government and institution. She's actually digging down to where the people live. So these are not NGOs, non-governmental organizations, in the sense that they're being funded by communists, by globalists. No, these movements are being funded by people like me and you, if you so choose, who say, you know what? Let's take these governments and just sidebar them, because we need to talk as human beings and recognize the humanity that we see in ourselves, in each other. And I'm telling you right now, if you are a conspiracy theorist like myself, Mike and Adali Villanueva, Mike, good to see you. So if you are a truth seeker like me, at some point, these overeducated programmed people are going to need someone to come up alongside them and tell them what the shot is. Hey, you know these government institutions you've placed trust in? You know this news apparatus you've placed your trust in, the TV news and the newspapers? Well, they've been lying the whole time, trying to crush you. They've been trying to enslave you, and they've done a real good job at it. So they're going to need people like us. So the humanity that we know we have, because we're truth seekers and we want to deal on the level of truth and not lies, we have to find that humanity in them, because it's there. They're children of God too. Now, I might have digressed, but the fact of the matter is, I see that in this woman, Brene Brown. Whether she sees it in me, I don't know. But I can say that with these people that have come together, Israelis and Palestinians, and this is, ladies and gentlemen, this is the key. This is literally biblical. This is the key to peace in the Middle East, which is the key to worldwide peace. And this is not hyperbole. If we want peace, we must put governments to heal. This is what America is based on. This is what the founding fathers ensconced in the forming documents of our nation. The government must be put to heal by the people. We the people. We cannot be led by the nose by governments. You want a good example of that? Look at 2020. Look at the pandemic. Look at the lies they told us. And look at the deaths that we're seeing now because of it. I won't go into details again. We're on Facebook and they're not friendly to truth. So I've gone a little long-winded on this, but it is well worth it. And I thank my cousin Tara for putting it out there, because Brene Brown is doing, at least in this, some awesome work. Kudos to her. Now, I don't know. I don't have my watch with me. How far along are we, Joe? Are we at the halfway point yet?
Yes, we're at almost 3/4.
Almost 3/4. Wow. I'm having such a good time. This goes really fast. So I want to let you know that we're coming at you from KCYP The City, 97.7 FM out of McAllen, Texas. All that noise is the creative incubator that you may or may not be hearing, besides the noise coming out of my yap. Okay? We got drums. We got people dancing around, jumping around on a stage out here. It's all kinds of craziness and mayhem. I love it. So I'm going to go on to a few different things. I got a bunch of stuff. Anybody want to pipe up on something that they want to talk about here? Let me see if I can get these comments up again. They seem to have gone. There we go. So nothing yet. But yeah, the crypto thing is flying. If you want to talk about cryptos, if you want to talk about truth movement, if you want to talk about anything that I've talked about, hit me up on bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com. bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com. I'd be glad to talk to you about it. Here's something from the Wall Street Journal. John Kerry's Ukraine emissions. John Kerry has been ousted as the, I don't know if you knew this, the czar, and they want to put in an arch criminal named John Podesta. Anyway, I digress. John Kerry frets that Russian brutality will distract from climate change. Wowzers, John. Overthrowing Ukraine in 2014, poking the bear incessantly with biowarfare labs in Ukraine, all that kind of stuff just to get a war with Russia. And you're worried about climate change, people being distracted from it? That is the globalist. Now, named John Kerry. Former U.S. Secretary, again, Wall Street Journal, former U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry warned in an interview this week about massive emissions consequences as he flew to Warby's private jet from a Russian war against Ukraine, which he also said would be a distraction. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I've got two theories on this, and we'll go ahead with this Wall Street Journal thing. Nevertheless, he added, I hope President Putin will help us to stay on track with respect to what we need to do for the climate. Yeah, John, that's President Putin's first thing on his to-do list. You clown. Now, there's something here, right? I mean, those of us that have been following this truth movement, those of us who know that we are in a fifth generational war, we know that this is all about information. So could he, that John Kerry buffoon, could he be speaking in pure stupidity, which is his milieu? Or is it code for something else? Comment, if you will. Jim says, I want to break before we get to the end. I want to break, and I'm going to have a special break for a special guy. My dad, Ronald Ott. Yes, he's 80 years old today, and I love you, Dad. God bless you with many more years. May you be blessed by God, and my prayers be answered. I love you, Dad. 80 years old. Ronald Ott. The whole crew's going for you, Dad. We got the whole crew here, Dad. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Dad, for everything you've done for me and everyone else. I love you. You are loved by many. Ronald Ott is 80 today. I love you. So, or is it 79, Dad? I don't want to push it. I do know that he's 25 years older than me, so I think it's 80. And I love you. I've only loved you for 54 of those years. But thank God for you. So, CNBC says, don't be enticed by the gold rally. Expert says, investors buy gold and hope it doesn't go up. Now, we've spoken about experts, haven't we? Oh, yes, we have. Those experts are normally not out for you. Oh, Dad says thank you. It is 80. I got something right. So, CNBC says, don't buy gold and hope it goes up. Don't do it because experts say not to do it. That's what experts say. Don't do it. So, they say one helpful way to think about the recent gold rally is a case of, and they love to use these words, schadenfreude. They love that. The yellow metal does well when other assets and the world are in trouble. So basically they're trying to say, don't buy gold. They go on. As a result, prospective buyers should proceed with caution, experts say. Be prepared to root against your investment, said William Bernstein. Bernstein, author of The 4 Pillars of Investing. So now Bernstein is into 4 pillars of investing. Why? Why is he into 4 pillars of investing? Because he's been told to. And all that investing is in the privately owned super secret club of the Federal Reserve. And you're not part of it. And they don't want you there. So we buy Bitcoin. You buy gold and hope it doesn't go up, he says. No. If I buy gold, I'm hoping it goes up because that means the dollar is in the crapper. Yeah, I mean that. The dollar is in the crapper. So no matter what these experts say, look at gold, look at silver, look at land, and of course, look at Bitcoin. So they're going to go on in this. I'm not going to repeat that so-called expert's words. Now, Zero Hedge. This, I got to give them kudos too, as I gave for Brene Brown. I'm going to give Zero Hedge kudos. Why? Because they have debates, real debates. They have real debates. This is Zero Hedge. They had in a debate, I think it was 2 or 3 days ago, 2 members of Congress. One was Senator Ron Johnson and the other was Congressman Joe Walsh, both on either side of the Ukraine debate. So the 4th Zero Hedge debate on the war in Ukraine concluded last night, and we have received candid feedback from readers, with one reader calling it an Overton window debate. For a reminder, the Overton window, ladies and gentlemen, is a term coined by I don't know who. Won't pretend to know. Maybe somebody will come up here. Who did coin the Overton window? We will know. Noe, good to see you, Noe, says, what's behind the recent Shiba uprise? Will it continue or did it lose its steam? Happy birthday to your pops, says Noe. Dad, Noe says happy birthday to you too. Thank you, Noe. Well, I'll tell you what, Shiba is one of those old school, if we can even say such a thing in the cryptoverse, old school meme coins. It went up, but I like anything else. I think these things have only one purpose, and that's to gamble on them. A Shiba coin, a Doge coin. They call them meme coins for a reason, because they don't really have any use case for them. They're just to, throw money at. So when you ask about Shiba, I only have to say, because I don't delve into those yet anyway. I might throw a little bit at some of the ones I talked about earlier. Check it out, Noe. I have some good altcoin, meme coin info in the beginning of this. So when we're done here, you can, for the beginning of it, and you'll get some places where you can look for just this sort of information. But Shiba is one of those old school meme coins that did very well in the last bull run. And I think it's going to do very well in this one too. But there's a couple different bull runs, right? So the one that's going on now are the traditional coins, Bitcoin, ETH, and the like. The one coming up are going to be altcoins, meaning alternative coins. So I would imagine Shiba and the rest of them are going to go. But that's just me, maybe not. You might want to get yourself a little bag of it, or get yourself a little bag and find out some of these that I mentioned earlier from the cryptonews.com stuff I went over earlier. They have a list of, I think, 15 of projects that are coming up that you can get for 0.00003, 4, or 5 cents a coin. So you get $100 on that. If that hits, wow, man, that would be great. So this Zero Hedge thing, they went on for like 2 hours. Okay, these 2 politicians. And this is very rare for, Matt says, Pepe's flying right now. Okay, Pepe's a good one. I think I might even get into that one. Jim says, my free dollar of Fetch AI is now $15.79. Wow. That's quite a, JT says, happy birthday to daddy. Happy birthday from JT, Dad. So, yes. Fetch AI now $15.79 on $1, Jim. Wow. So yeah, you must have signed up for something. And sometimes they'll throw you like $1 worth of crypto. $15.79. Wow. So imagine, right? If you throw $100 at something, you could lose $100. Imagine that, right? Or if you get lucky, you can get real lucky. So the whole thing where, and this is I'm a very knowledgeable, my friend Jeremiah, a very knowledgeable crypto guy. He's been in multiple bull runs. He believes that the change your life type of wealth opportunities are gone. I don't think that's quite true. And maybe we'll have him on one of these days. I would love to. But these types of gains, 100x, 200x, and more, are possible. But you have to remember that there are thousands of these coins out there. So you can't throw $100 at each one, right? you might be able to throw 10 at a bunch. At maybe, you throw 10 at 100, you got $1,000 invested. One of them's got to hit, right? You would think, you would hope out of 100, right? But these are strategies that you want to work at with knowledge, meaning you want to do the research. You want to figure out why you want to follow a certain strategy. My strategy right now, it was pretty easy for me, and it's the simplest of strategies, the HODL, hold on for dear life. So I buy things that I truly believe in, which is Bitcoin. I truly believe in Theta and their whole cryptoverse, if you will. Theta, if you haven't checked that out, please, thetatoken.org. If you want to know more about this stuff, please, bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com. I would love to fill you in on some of this stuff, throw you links, throw you videos. There's tons of information out there, but you have to do your own research and you have to make your own decisions because the onus is on us. We can't rely on banks anymore. They'll just, screw us and enslave us the way they always have. So we become the bank. With Bitcoin, with crypto, you become the bank. And there's the freedom. There's the freedom of this whole thing. So that's one of the biggest reasons I love this. Now, I got a bunch of other stuff. Again, I don't have my watch. I think are we running on about an hour, Joe? We're coming up on that hour?
Coming up on the hour.
All right. So I love doing this, ladies and gentlemen. This goes so fast. If I had to estimate, I'd go 20 to 30 minutes that we've been on right now, but it's been an hour. So again, for the crypto heavy enthusiasts, go back to the beginning of the show. I got some interesting information for you. Also, hit me up, bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com. I will get back to you, and I will put you on to some things that you're interested in. Just list some things, and then I'll dig up from. I try to keep my research. I don't know. I don't want to use the word memorialized, but I have a list of stuff that I've looked at. So it might be something new to me too. So I'll get to learn along with you.
We can go for another 5 minutes.
So we got another 5.
Yeah,
all right, sounds good. So guys, we have these people out here. I don't know if you can hear them, but they're just cranking their music, which is cool. I mean, they're dancing and jumping around. But this is part of the McAllen Creative Incubator. I'm sorry if it bothers you, but we have painters here. We have artists here. These people are jumping around with ballet shoes. Okay, I'm not going to try that. Joe, are you going to try that? You want to see if they got one in your size, a pair of that? No, you don't want it. No. Okay, so we're not going to be doing ballet, but we are going to be talking about crypto. So I've got a few minutes left. What do you guys want to hear? What do you have to fill us in for the last couple minutes? Because if you don't, I want to go back on this whole altcoin thing, and I'm going to say that with these altcoins, and I am, I'm to the point now where I'm going to change my strategy a little bit. So I'm going to keep my bags of Bitcoin. I'm going to keep my bags of Theta, T-Fuel. I've got, this, that, and the other. I don't have a lot of them, guys. I think I barely have a tenth of Bitcoin. I'm a middle-class guy, got a big family, been blessed. I've been blessed. So I have money going elsewhere, like food and mortgages and things like that. But when I saw this opportunity, I knew what it was. What is it? It's an opportunity for us to escape the system, the matrix, if you will. If you follow your own intuition, your gut, your mind, your education, if you believe in you, you're going to be able to get this done. You're going to win. I will help you, but I will not make decisions for you. I have no tie. I am not a financial advisor of any kind, but I will help you on your journey to learn. That's what I'm here for. That's the Bitcoin Otter Association. We are here to help make the right decision for you, not for me, not for some institution or something like that, and certainly not for any banks, unless you want to call yourself the bank, which I do. So we have basically a situation where we as Americans and worldwide, we are bankers, because we're going to take that authority that, I don't even know if you want to call it an authority. They've usurped authority of real banks, and they call themselves the central banks. Kate, good to see you, Kate. I was just mentioning your sister. She inspired me, Kate, with the podcasts by one Brene Brown. I don't know, Kate, if Kate is another cousin of mine, the sister of Tara that I spoke of earlier. So if you haven't seen it, Kate, or you haven't listened to these podcasts that Tara put out there, there are three in specifically three that are amazingly well done. And the stories that you get from these people in the Israeli-Palestine conflict, the war, that's chewing up regular people, killing women, killing children, both sides. I don't take a side, okay? But these people, their stories are motivating because they're human. And they realize that they know the humanity in them, and they sought it out in their so-called enemy that the governments want. Well, I don't know if you want to call Hamas a government, but it might just be. So they found the humanity in what they were told was the enemy. That's where peace resides. Finding humanity in people you don't agree with. Finding and partnering with that humanity, coming together in that humanity. That is where peace resides. That is where we want to be, because we don't want to be at the beck and call of the globalists, the beck and call of the deep state that want us to war against each other to make less of us and kind of even out that ludicrous ratio that exists, because there are way, way more of us than there are of them. Okay. So we recently had a Rothschild bow out. He gave up this mortal coil, if you will, shuffled off into wherever deep state people go. And I think we have a good idea where that is. But there is a new guard, ladies and gentlemen. We the people, okay? And I don't just mean Americans. I am what I would call an interdimensional patriot, meaning my home is in heaven. And I am a patriot for God's kingdom. But I'm also a patriot for my country, America, the United States of America, the republic for which it stands. There are others out there. There are others, of course, in other nations that are equally patriotic, and I stand by them. I don't want to live in their nation, maybe visit. But the fact of the matter is, I, as an American, I am a patriot. But I also love other patriots from other nations because they're humans. That's what we're called to do. Be human to each other. Come alongside of each other. That's the whole story, ladies and gentlemen, of the Samaritan, the good Samaritan that Jesus told us. All the religious people walked by the guy that was, beat up, robbed, thrown to the side of the road. The religious people walked by that guy. They didn't want to have anything to do with him. So in Jesus' time, Samaritans were a byword. Just being called a Samaritan was basically almost being spat upon. Yet this Samaritan in Jesus' story, his parable, this Samaritan came to the aid of the man that had been robbed, beaten, and thrown to the wayside. Put him on his donkey, brought him into town, paid for his medical care. That is the story of the Good Samaritan. Because the Samaritan, as evil as they claimed he was, saw the humanity in the guy that was waylaid on the side of the road, beaten, robbed. Ladies and gentlemen, when we see humanity in someone we're told not to like, we're winning. We're doing it right. Let's keep it up. Because I know that you fellow truth seekers know this. And we are not who they, as we're going to hear in the address tonight, think we are. The MAGA extremists and so forth. If we're going to be extreme, let's be extreme in humanity. Let's be extreme in loving not only each other, but the humanity and the people that we're told to hate. The immediate thing we need to do when we're told to hate is look at the person telling us to hate and their agenda. Inspect it, because it's rotten fruit. Don't eat it. That, ladies and gentlemen, will conclude this show. And I would like to tell you all, thank you very much. And Dad, once again, happy 80th birthday. God bless you. May you have many, many more. That's it for the Bitcoin Otter Show this week. Be blessed, and I'll see you next week. Have a good one.
This is the Bitcoin Otter Radio Show
Oh my God, I love you so much.
on 97.7 FM, The City.